start this off, I'm sick, so, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna do this Anthony Fantano type of reaction video where I react to the new Brockhampton albums, and I was gonna have the shirt, the flannel, and I was gonna, you know, act like him, and it's gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be funny as hell. But then they nerfed Zarya in Overwatch, and I just had to show him real quick, like, she's not going anywhere. But after that, I got back to the writing process of the review of the Brockhampton albums, and I couldn't find anything to say about TM. I'm not saying it's good or bad, I just have nothing to say. And I think it's because it just came out. And that's when I realized that this is supposed to be their final album. But I don't get that yet. I'm not noticing that yet. It's not hitting yet because Kevin's still doing the rollout. They're all still tweeting on Twitter. They just did a concert at the Fonda yesterday. They're doing the merch and the CDs. They're still technically here. So I think I gotta give TM time and process it. And that led me to this video right here called Living with Albums.
6.
Has anyone ever told you that you have to live with an album to really have it hit? Nathan Zed told me that after Honestly Nevermind came out, and I get it now. Because when that album first dropped, I absolutely despised that album. I hated that album. But a few months later, in Jamaica at a club, that song came on, and now I get it. I'm scared to listen to Joji Smithereens or YS Blood's new album because I love them, but I don't know if I'm gonna love the album because I'm not in those spaces anymore. I'm not in that mindset anymore. When Ballads 1 came out in 2018, ooh, you dancing in my room was my vibe. So of course I can love Joji's album because similar vibes. In 2020 when Nectar came out, I got eyes in the back of my head, I can see shit. I don't wanna dodge, but you stab me in the back, bitch. I swear that the entire world is against me. I told her I just wanna be friends, but you said that was the vibe. So of course I can love Joji's album, but right now I'm just kind of bored. Twitter was supposed to end, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it didn't end, and I was like, oh, okay. And then Kanye and Andrew Tate and Trump came back on, and I was like, oh, the joke's not funny, nigga. You gotta be in certain mindsets, certain circumstances to really get an album, for it to really hit for you. And I think that goes for every piece of media. I saw Call Me By Your Name on a cold December night, so I didn't really get to bask in that fantasy glory of summer in Europe. But then next year, I went to Europe in the summer and I had the Call Me By Your Name book, and everything hit. Sometimes you need certain environments to immerse you into the world the artist is trying to convey to you. But most of the time you don't need that. Most of the time I think you just need time and patience. I listened to Blonde in a fucking laundromat, bro, and I swear that's like top 5 for me. So time, patience, and just everyday normal life events to happen to you. If you're happy as fuck, I don't know if you're gonna say you will. I don't know if it's gonna hit for you the same way it hit for me. But like if your mom just died, or your brother, whoever the fuck just died, or you just broke up with your girlfriend or something, that's a perfect time. That's a normal human experience, as it all happens, but that's a perfect time for that song to hit. Call Me If You Get Lost is not my favorite Tyler album, but it is one of the most amazing experiences I had with listening to music, just because I gave it the right time, patience, and environment. And even after all that, you still think that my point with you having to live with an album is a little far-fetched or just straight up wrong? What if I told you that even Frank Ocean does it? Well, okay, he kind of. I watched a video on where's Frank Ocean's next album, and the gist I got from the video is story. Frank Ocean focuses on story more than anything when it comes to making music. To have a story to tell, you have to be interesting, you have to have things happen to you and do things. You also need fucking time. If something crazy happens to you and you tell your friend the next day, you can't say much. You're still processing the whole thing. But if you give it a year, I bet you can write a whole book on that shit, right? And that's what I think Frank is doing with his next project. I think he's just giving it time, living his life so he can tell a story. Maybe the shit already happened and he's just processing it right now, trying to turn it into 14, 12 tracks, trying to turn it into an amazing piece of art. So if Frank has to live to make the albums, why don't we just live to listen to the albums? When Juice was here and I was listening to that nigga talking about killing himself and doing all the drumming with my white friend, doing cocaine with my black friend, I'm just dancing with it. Now I listen to that song, I'm like, damn. It hits different. Circumstances happen, time passed, and now it hits different. So maybe after everything, maybe after they're fully gone, they're making solo things, they're not doing merch for Brockhampton or CDs for Brockhampton, or it's the final album, they're not doing that rollout anymore, when it's finally over in like a year, maybe I'll listen to TM again. I'll listen to TF again. I'll listen to all their shit again. And I guarantee it'll hit different. That's why I didn't do that Anthony Fantano video. Somebody in the comments, put an album or movie or TV show, any piece of media that didn't hit for you when you first heard, seen, watched it, but then later on you got the right circumstances and it just hit. Please tell me in the comments, bro, because I know I'm not crazy.